Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Game Drain. We're back at it for year 2023. We're coming up on our first year of doing this. Very fun show. Me, Matt Likes Games, Twan, and Hard Days Mike here just to talk about some recent news that's been going down in gaming as recently. But before we get into that, let's go through what we've been playing as of lately. And we haven't actually had the show in a few weeks now. So
it's like 2 weeks. It feels like a month.
Yeah,
but it's been like 2 weeks.
So let's kind of temper how we come into this conversation about what we've been playing. Let's not talk about what we've been playing for like the last month. Let's just keep it to like the last.
Yeah, Infinite. You already know what I've been playing.
But
the last 3 games that you played, done.
Actually, I'm gonna go first, and you know what, Mike, you nailed it right there. I've been playing Halo Infinite.
Let's go.
Been that game. Me and the wife have been getting down on that game quite a bit lately because that's like one of the only games she really plays. So I've been playing the campaign with her, and then also some multiplayer. But I've been playing a ton of other games as well. Hydrophobia, which is like a wild game from back in the 360 times.
Oh yeah, the Xbox XBLA game or something.
Yeah, I don't know right off the top of my head, but what's it? Bulletstorm. Been playing that on my PS3 a little bit. Eternal Darkness and Skyrim. Been playing a crap ton of Skyrim too lately. So
nice.
That's for the most part what I've been playing. I could just, like I said, rattle off a whole bunch, but I'm gonna keep it moving. Let's go over to Twan, see what's been cracking with him lately.
Right. So I mean, just after very recently, I think after we did the last podcast, I finished Need for Speed, and that game was actually really good. I enjoyed every second of that game. I mean, obviously, it had its moments where it pissed me off. You guys were there for that, but
yeah.
But it was even the story, even the story. Obviously, it was a very basic story. Even the way it was written, you could tell it was written by some guy in his 40s. Oh, what are the kids into nowadays, kind of thing. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like it had a nice ending, though. It was interesting enough where I wanted to see how it ended, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, the game was fun. So anyway, that's done. I actually recently started playing Shining the Holy Ark on the Sega Saturn. It's like a dungeon crawler, first-person dungeon crawler. It's actually aged very well. I'm actually shocked at how well it's aged. You'd think it'd have all the quirks of an old JRPG back in the day. You die, you lose everything, kind of thing. But it's very very forgiving. Very streamlined too. Everything's nice and snappy. The way enemies come in, it's very organic. And the dungeons themselves are designed really well. And I'm just enjoying that game a lot. So
what's it called again?
Shining the Holy Ark. It's on the Sega Saturn.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So I'll never play it. All right.
Yeah, exactly. it's a game only for me. But
I'm glad you're liking it, man.
It's a really good game. And other than that, what else have I been playing? I haven't really been playing too much, but I've been playing some Virtual On. I got the twin sticks. Ham, I'm not sure if you're aware of those twin sticks for the Sega Saturn.
Yeah, I am.
Aware of those? Yeah, so I got one. I have one of those. I've been using that a bit and been playing Virtual On with those. I've actually had it for a while, but I've just never used them. I was like, I'm gonna give them a shot, and those are pretty nice. So honestly, I could keep on going on. Right, it's been 2 weeks, right? So I think I'm just gonna end it there. And Mike, you've been playing Doom Eternal, right? I could probably.
Am I next? Okay. I've been playing Doom Eternal as always. I've been playing a bit of Battlefield 2042 and Call of Duty in and out. Mainly, a game of which I really want to get back to playing is The Witcher 3. That game's incredible, and I love it. It is such a good game. I love the storytelling. I love the dialogue. The combat's so good. And it's just been a great time so far. That's really kind of it, though. I haven't really been playing much else other than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds about right. I mean, it's been the holidays, right? It's a lot of family time, right?
A lot of family time, and I've been working a ton more than usual, and it's just kind of I'm not adventuring as much as I would like to when it comes to gaming. It's mainly the same business as usual. Business as usual.
Yeah. Just Doom Eternal. That's.
Yep. Wait, what happened?
Oh,
sorry.
Nothing.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Am I next?
Yeah. Go ahead, Matt. Go.
Okay, so Oblivion. Keep it short and sweet. I've been playing a lot of Oblivion. I've never played Oblivion, and I'm playing it for the first time, and it's
I'm actually
fantastic.
shocked you never played that game.
I didn't like RPGs when that came out. I didn't care about RPGs. Skyrim was my first RPG, so I missed everything up to Skyrim.
Oh, okay. Just decide never to go back to it until now?
What's that?
You never decided to go back to Oblivion until now? I'm surprised.
No.
I feel like you played a lot of. I feel like you played a lot of Bethesda RPGs already.
I have. I've played Oblivion. I mean, I've played Oblivion before, but I've never actually done things in it.
Played it. Yeah. That makes sense.
But yeah, fun game.
All right, well, I'm happy.
Very fun game.
Yeah. Have you ever tried Morrowind though?
Morrowind is horse shit. Probably it's probably a really well made RPG that is awful to play because it's 100 years old.
100 years old.
It's terrible.
Careful, you say that around they'll have a fucking panic attack.
I can't play that game, and
Have you actually tried to play it though?
Yeah, Yeah, I've
Yo,
sat down for like 30 minutes at a time trying to play that. It can't happen. It won't happen.
It won't happen.
It's bad.
I love
It feels bad. It makes me upset.
Oh my god.
Oblivion, however, is great.
Matt upset. Matt don't like games.
Well, man, Bethesda slander and Bethesda love at the same time. Something else. Anyways, let's go on ahead and keep this moving. Matt, you have some pretty dope news that you want to talk about. But before we get into that, we should hit some of these small bits of news first.
Yeah.
And
okay, so
yeah, go on ahead and spit what you got, and then I'll kind of chime in on what I got.
Well, I want to talk about the stuff, like, obviously we're going to talk about what happened this week, but like we were off for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I want to like at least discuss some things that happened over that time. I mean, honestly, I feel like the biggest news over that time, outside of like the FTC and Microsoft constantly yelling at each other, is the new Stalker trailer. And Atomic Heart had a trailer as well, but the new Stalker trailer looks fantastic. And I want to ask you guys if you've seen it yet at this point or not.
Not the new one.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't yet.
Oh my god, Mike! You need to watch that.
I know I'm gonna play it, so like I just haven't looked it up yet.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I will though.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna play the game, so like I'm already kind of sold, even though it's not like I'm actually buying it. You know,
he's lying. He won't play it. No, but I haven't yet. But I've seen a lot of screens from it, and it looks insane. Yeah. So that
was. Well, I've definitely seen trailers of the game, obviously, right? I just haven't seen the newest one.
Yeah.
The newest one is the best trailer, in my opinion.
What do they really show off in the newest one?
Well, first of all, I came away from the newest one actually like interested in the story, which I wasn't really
sold
on before. Like the voice acting is really, really good. Like a lot better than I thought it would be. But that's fantastic. The dialogue's really good. Characters seem pretty reasonably likable as well, or at least like the small bits that you see of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a pretty dope trailer. Gameplay, I think there was very small parts of gameplay in that trailer, but other than that, my biggest takeaway from that is the story and dialogue.
That's fair. Also, you know, it's another game we've been seeing a lot of recently. At least I've been seeing a lot of it. Was Atomic Heart. That game looks insane. At least from what I've seen.
I can't wait for Atomic Heart.
That oh my god.
That's my second most anticipated game next year. That's my most anticipated game not named Starfield. Or this year, I guess I should say.
Yeah, like that game looks really fun. Holy shit, man.
I can't wait for that. I guess I did want to talk about that though, but damn, your thoughts on Stalker 2. You've seen the trailer, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I had to check out that trailer because that was one of my most anticipated games for last year, and it didn't end up panning out. And it's not exactly as wanted as it was last year because of some of the games that are coming up this year. Arc 2. But but
it's not happening.
It's unfortunate. It's happening. But anyways, I'm still really excited for that game. More or less just like happy that the developers could get through and actually feel confident enough to come out and say something like this in the time period that they're currently in. You got to have some nuts, gonads, whatever you want to say. You got to have some cojones to come out here and be ready to be like, hey, we're going to be shipping this game this year in the state that we're in. So, I mean, ups to them on that. I'm still really excited to play it, and it's day one on Game Pass. So easy. I mean, there's really no excuse to really get in and get down on that game.
Definitely, 100%.
Are we talking about Atomic Heart at all yet? Or no?
We can talk about Atomic Heart because I've got some things to say about that. But it sounds like you got something you want to say on that.
So I seen the most recent trailer on Atomic Heart, and I'm still not super duper sold on the game. I think it looks phenomenal. It's probably one of the most environmental like best looking environmental game that I've seen in some times.
Gotcha.
I mean, keep in mind, like Callisto Protocol looked really good.
That's it.
Like Horizon Forbidden West looked really good as well, but like I feel like it's really hard to match what's going on or like the story with the environment at the same time. And it seems like they have a good thing going on. Hopefully they can stick it as well, in my opinion, as like, because I thought Callisto stuck that really well. I felt like they stuck their environment like great in the game.
Yeah, 100%.
To me, the problem was just like the gameplay and some of the like simple mechanics in that game.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, Atomic Heart looks phenomenal. Yeah, like some of the rooms are just like insane that I was seeing in the trailer, but I still like, for me it's I'm not sure if it's gonna be like that special, since this, I mean I've played a lot of FPS games, man, and it's just like, what are you gonna do that's different? That's kind of where I'm at on it, and I feel different about a game that we're gonna be talking about later. That's an FPS game, but
Yeah.
until then, let's kick it off to somebody else.
All right. So I wanted to say on Atomic Heart, because the latest trailer was the RTX trailer. Now, obviously, RTX is going to be a thing on PC. That's fully expected pretty much at this point in 2023. I'm worried.
See it.
I'm very worried that it will be a priority on console. And I do not want that, especially if it's at the cost of 30 FPS. And especially if they're not going to have an option for 60 FPS.
Yeah, hello, I'm back.
Yep.
What happened here?
I'm someone who, like, honestly, ray tracing in games, as good as it looks, I don't care about it.
Nope.
There's the best implementation of ray tracing I've ever seen is Metro Exodus. There's other games that do it really well. Doom Eternal's up there. There's another game I just recently played. I can't remember the name of it. But they're like, the best implementation I've ever seen of it is Metro Exodus. Even then, if it's between playing that at 60 or 30, and I just turn ray tracing off. I don't care. It's not that important to me.
Yeah,
but
I feel like it's not worth the horsepower, honestly.
It's not, and it's something that these consoles, it'll be a topic for the next few years until we either eventually get the pro versions of these consoles or we just ride this generation out with what we got. Who knows? But I feel like these consoles are pretty powerful for what they are, but they're quite underpowered when it comes to ray tracing performance, and I just don't want that to be a focus, especially in a game like this, an FPS game. I don't want to play this at 30 FPS. I have no desire to do that.
Like, I feel like
Mick Gordon's music is in it. You need to be moving 5,000 miles per hour. You can't be doing that at 30 frames.
You need to be at least at 60. I would be awesome if they had a performance mode 120. That'd be fantastic. But I mean, I got to be at least at 60.
Like, I feel like the ray tracing, even on consoles right now, is kind of like, it's like cut back ray tracing. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, because AMD hardware, especially. I'm not somebody just shitting on AMD either, but like their hardware, their ray tracing hardware is like, or what is it called? Their tech is a generation behind, or whatever it is.
It is. Most of what we see in ray tracing on like consoles is global illumination, ambient occlusion. That's about it. You're very hardly ever getting ray trace reflections, especially high resolution ray trace. Like, you're rarely ever getting that unless the game is just not demanding at all in general.
Yeah. Keep in mind when these consoles came out and where AMD was at the time.
I mean, AMD's still there too.
Exactly. I mean, you see with the like the the 6500, 6700, 6800, 6900, like the XTs and all that stuff. They still sucked at ray tracing.
They weren't at ray tracing,
and the consoles were out already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, think about and AMD is what they're using to power those consoles, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
so it's gonna be like, yeah, we're getting wishy-washy ray tracing.
But I was told it was as powerful as a 3080. That's what Twitter told me. So
Yeah.
Well,
See,
mean,
I
no.
you
I
remember
just
those?
don't. I just
People are
don't want
dumb.
that to be a focus.
No, it
I really
shouldn't
don't.
be.
I really don't care for it to be a focus.
What's up,
That made
Blind?
Watch Dogs Legions an even worse game, and I don't know how that's possible, but it did it.
Dude, Watch Dogs Legion was.
So
I mean,
bad.
talk about a fucking L. That's one of
Yeah.
my biggest L's this generation is buying that game.
Yep. I
Just-
played it for a solid like half hour, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Spending
like-
any sort of money on that game, let alone full price. I bought it
Yep.
full price.
West-
That's
hurt.
unfortunate.
Then again, I spent full price for Bound Wonderworld, so who's really losing here?
To be
So-
fair, I also spent full price for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Oh,
Probably an even bigger L for me because it cost more.
yeah.
Mm.
But I got the
Don't you
deluxe
love
expansion,
$70
deluxe edition.
games?
Dude,
Horizon's-
that's a
I
whole
can't
other-
even think.
it's a whole
I can't
other
even
topic.
think of one $70 game I've really found 100% worth it. COD's kind of there.
There's like, well, I think COD's worth it because it's like I can get endless hours of fun out of the multiplayer, and they'll continue to update it until the next Call of Duty.
True.
So that just
What about Ratchet and Clank though?
Ratchet and Clank is God
I'm just
damn,
kidding.
Mike. Don't make me say mean shit. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about Atomic Heart. I just wanted to say that. Does anybody else have anything to say about Atomic Heart before we keep it moving?
And it
I
looks
can't
really
wait.
freaking
That's all I
good.
gotta say.
It looks really freaking good, man.
And it's
Yeah.
open six to landing because the environment
Well,
and it's like time
honestly,
period. It's
Hey man, if the
it's-
game turns out to be garbage, at least we got the music. That's all I gotta say.
yeah. At least I got Mick Gordon's music,
Yeah.
so I'm
Dude,
happy.
you know what? You know what? Another game I'm super hyped for. I think it's coming in 2023. I can't remember the name of it, but it reminds me of Atomic Heart. And I
think
swear,
that-
I think Mick Gordon's doing this music. in
Yeah,
that
he
game,
is.
too.
I can't remember the fucking name either. It's with an S.
Shit.
Stasis, stable, not stable.
No. I'll find it during the show. But there's another game that just looks fucking crazy. Mick Gordon.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's on a roll. He can't be stopped. He's just
he just
a
knows
maniac.
how to make actual combat music, and it's really, really nice. It's
He's-
really
he's-
nice.
He's legitimately a fucking maniac. I don't know how he does it, but keep doing it, please.
Exactly.
So geez, we started with Stalker. Okay.
Let's talk about Halo Infinite.
I think we should kind of just talk about the big thing this week,
Oh,
and
you
that's
go straight to
Redfall.
it?
Yeah.
Good look.
Because I mean that's the big attention drawer this week.
Yeah.
And
Big
Redfall had there was a huge article, like a massive article from Games Radar on Redfall interviewing Harvey Smith, and oh my god, I don't have his name down here, but two developers on Redfall.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's a lot of details here. I'm going to go through them really quickly, or as quick as I can, and we're just going to talk about it. But Redfall details here. It says it's going to have a larger map than Prey, but smaller than most other open worlds that we may be used to in modern gaming. So they like to compare this game a little bit to their take on Far Cry. In fact, there's a piece in the article that says it's like Arcane's take on Far Cry meets
2.
Stalker. Yeah, Far Cry 2 specifically meets Stalker, which
Interesting.
I thought was that's just a crazy combination. I would love to see it. But yeah, it says features main quests, side quests, and a completely open world that you are free to explore at your leisure. The game is okay, I said that. Unlike Far Cry, there will be no vehicles in this game. So players will navigate this map on foot, and that's why there's an emphasis on making it smaller than something you would see in Far Cry. Players are able to play as the same character in a session. So if me and you, Mike, want to play a game, we can both be the same character, but there are incentives to use different characters
I like
in the
that.
same session. Yeah, I really like that actually. And it features a friendship system. So let's say we do play as two different characters. The more we play as those two different characters together, they develop a friendship, and then eventually you get things from that friendship, like different perks and bonuses and stuff like that in your playthrough.
That's cool.
So that's awesome. Environmental storytelling is going to remain a focus or a key aspect of the game's design. but they are using Redfall to stretch their legs a bit from the usual Arcane immersive sim game design. So it's not going to be. I'm not going to go into this expecting, I don't know, Deathloop or Dishonored. It's going to be obviously on a bigger scale, but it's going to feature the same kind of environmental storytelling, which is what Arcane is really good at, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
I can't. And then it says they brought in experts on the FPS genre, including, Mike's gonna love this, enlisting help from id Software for tightening up FPS gameplay. Now that I love to hear
Somebody
that.
say mid. I heard mid.
We're not talking about Ark.
Fucking mouth.
I
No, I'm
heard
kidding.
mid.
Yeah, I didn't say Ark. Keep going.
Yeah, no one said Ark. No one said Ark. And then the final point. The game will feature all of the guns that you come to expect from most FPS games. Will also feature vampire hunting weapons, as you could imagine. Flare guns, UV beams, stake launchers that use all sorts of different ammo. I think they one of the examples that they use that you can use as a stake launcher or use in the stake launcher is fire pokers, which just sounds fucking cool. Yeah. But yeah, tons of info on Redfall, and
I want to say real quick,
what's that?
There's going to be previews coming out tomorrow.
Yes,
as well by certain YouTubers and
what tomorrow?
Yeah. Yes, yep. Mike put that in the group chat. I'm super hyped for that.
Sorry, I'm about to say I'll give my opinion after because I had one thing I wanted to say.
I was just gonna say that I also, just a quick plug, did like a video. It's like 12 minutes that'll be out tomorrow where I talk more about all that stuff. But
nice.
That's like a whole different thing. So yeah, what do you want to say, Mike?
Well, I was saying, like, I'm really excited for them to like kind of finally fully sell this game to me because everything descriptive sounds amazing to me and incredible. But like the first time I ever saw the game, it looked fun, but I was kind of like Ham said about Atomic Heart, I was kind of like I'm waiting for something to really like, what's really different here? And every time they explain it, right, it sounds freaking awesome. We haven't yet had another like very big gameplay show. We've had like these like little mini trailers of things you assume what's going to be in a first-person shooter, but I really would love to see this is like an actual this long well-voiced like what the hell are they called? Play like like a 10-minute playthrough of what the fuck's going on. Kind of like how Starfield did.
Like you can get a sense for the exploration too, like like on Doom there's exploration, all that kind of shit.
And it's like, I would love it not to be very scripted in the sense of like, like in that E3 when we first saw it, it was like, it was super scripted of like, oh, I just randomly walked it. I met randomly, pardon me, I'm freaking so tired. I randomly just found a person I was playing multiplayer with. Like that was, like a stage thing, which is fine, of course. I'm not going to shit on them for advertising their game. But like, I just would love to see it in a very organic way. And then they're like, okay, this is what you can do. This is what happens if you do this. And that's just what I'd love to see. Everything sounds fantastic. I just kind of would like to see some more raw gameplay, personally.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely like to see more gameplay. Hopefully, there's some sort of showcase in between now and I guess it's basically been confirmed this is coming out in May. In fact, I believe Jez actually said the actual date. I think it's May 2nd, he said.
Okay.
So yeah, so you would think that between now and then we'll have some sort of in-depth look at what's going on in Redfall, as well as probably other games at Xbox. But yeah, does anybody else have anything to say? Twan, Ham?
Twan Thang.
Yeah, day one of Game Pass, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Nope, PlayStation exclusive.
Awesome. Damn it.
So this was what I was talking about earlier when I said that I had a different take on another FPS game. This game I'm actually excited for just for the fact that I'm really into multiplayer, like co-op games. Like I really like that stuff. Can waste a lot of hours into it. Borderlands is one of my favorite games of all time. Specifically Borderlands 2. Absolutely love that game, and I've wasted, or I don't even know if I want to say wasted. I've properly
enjoyed
properly used or enjoyed way too many hours of that game, and I can't wait to hop in it with some of the crew here, and obviously some other people that I have friends online on Xbox. But yeah, I'm gonna have to try this game out on my Xbox, and I definitely want to try it out and push it on my PC as well. From what I've heard about this game, this is supposed to be like something that they're almost surprised that they came across. Like they were thinking, like, on the outside looking in, they would have probably chose to go like like linear, or like more linear with it or something like that. But they think they kind of struck some sort of gold here, and they seem to be really proud of it, although they are quite nervous about it dropping day one in Game Pass, which they actually said in the article. Were you going to go into that at all, Matt?
Well, I don't have it down, but I did read that part of the article, and I believe
I got it down right here. Let me just go on ahead and say it. They said the pool that Game Pass offers is huge for us. It's kind of shocking and scary in a way, like how many people are going to play Redfall the first week. What if it's a lot more than anticipated? We're going to get a lot of feedback very quickly, and a lot of people will see what we've been spending our time on the last few years. And I mean, I kind of understand some of the nervousness for sure, because you're dropping your game into a subscription service when your last game didn't drop straight into a subscription service. It actually went to Sony first and then dropped into Game Pass a year later. So it was a little bit more not not as like jarring of a feeling. But at the same time, this is what they call their pandemic game. So they had to do a ton of work outside of work, which is pretty hard to do. And they definitely expressed that they've went through some pretty rough moments, but came together to get this sucker done. And I'm really excited to see what they got going on. But they also went on to say Redfall is okay. I already said that. Is there a pandemic game? It's easy to forget now, but there were dark days. As I was saying, people on my team were sitting at home losing their minds because we didn't have vaccines yet. Nobody was sure what it meant for their kids and for the economy. The team carried each other through it. All ZeniMax, Bethesda, and Microsoft were very good to us during that difficult time. Now we're on the other side of it. The last thing I got to do is ship Redfall. So it is polished up and getting ready to be shipped.
Yeah. And speaking to the whole Game Pass part of it, I kind of when I read that, I read it as them being nervous, not so much, well, I guess you could say, because like obviously they want people to like it, but it's like it's Game Pass is a substantially bigger pool of players than anything that Arcane has launched into before. Because Arcane games, as much as I love them and as much as I sing the praises of Arcane, they don't sell well. Like, especially day one. Like, no one, like, most people haven't played Dishonored. And certainly most people didn't play it on day one. So it's like, their games don't have that appeal to like people to go out. I'm going to spend $60, $70 on that. Whereas launching into Game Pass, it's like, I can imagine it's a little fucking nerve-wracking for them because it's
a couple million people in day one,
Yeah, a couple million people day one. It's like they've never done multiplayer, so they've never had to like prepare servers. I'm sure the servers are going to be an issue. I'm almost positive that's going to be an issue because they've never had to do that before, let alone prepare for
the only closest they ever done was for fucking Deathloop. And that's the only thing they ever had to do.
And that's like not really like you're not getting 4 people in a game.
Yeah.
And like hundreds of thousands of different instances of games across the world.
And they're
not
even working together in Deathloop either. They're working against each other.
Yeah.
Well, but that's also a reason why I have slight anxieties because I remember Deathloop. Well, at least according to my friends, it was but I'm sure they've worked it out now. I mean, is this also a different Arcane studio too? It's not
This
even
is
the same Arcane.
Austin. Arcanely owned a Deathloop.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like different fucking head of this fucking snake or the dragon or
Yeah.
what the fuck it is. So hopefully they just got all that ironed out at least to the point where if there is a problem, it's not like a substantial problem and it's something that can be. Because I mean,
Yeah.
I won't fault them 100%. There's some issues in that department because especially if it's their first time launching a multi. I mean, it is also single player. You know what I mean? A game of this type of size with a multiplayer infrastructure for the first time.
To about 30 million people.
Mhm.
Good. Just kidding.
So it's like, yeah, I'm not expecting the first day, maybe 2 days to be amazing in terms of playing with your friends. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit of a drag.
Mhm.
But thankfully that's where, you can play it solo. So
yeah.
I'll do that for the first day, 2 days, whatever I got to do while they get it figured out and everything. I'm hoping the only issue they have, like you said, is just the influx of players as opposed to actual like server side
Infrastructure.
issues. Yeah. So we'll see, but I'm excited. Very excited.
And one last thing, if it's all right, if I can just say real
Yeah.
quick about Redfall, is like,
Mhm.
I'm really happy and excited it has a multiplayer component. I'm still, to be honest, like, and I'm gonna play it with you guys without a doubt, but I'm still mostly just interested in like its single player.
Same.
That's just because I kind of how I like to play those type of games. I am gonna play a multiplayer, like without a doubt, but I am
Yeah.
kind of curious because I mean I believe them that they said that they put all of like this effort in to make sure it feels like you're just playing the same game, whether it's multiplayer or single player. I just really hope. I'm not saying that it's true, like they're lying to us, but it does feel that way that they proclaim. Because I am a big fan of my single player shooters.
Yeah.
Is it like a single player game first and then a multiplayer game, or is it like a multiplayer?
They say it's like
game
both
and
at the
then
same
single player?
time. Then they say it's really
Yeah.
kind of supposed to be. They said it's supposed to be both at the same time.
It's pretty much supposed to be something you can play and you can get as fulfilling of an experience by yourself as you can with friends. That's what it's supposed to be. So,
it's really hard to
you'll-
strike that balance.
it's very difficult, but I
Yeah.
feel like
trust
worst case scenario, single player, it's gonna be a bigger, more expansive arcane game. Something like, I don't know, I try to imagine what it would be like to play Deathloop but open world,
Mhm.
but with
Yeah.
vampires. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I can deal with that. That's totally fine. I would actually enjoy that. So
Mhm.
if that's what they can manage to do, then I mean, hey, I'm totally
That
happy
sounds good to me.
with what they've got.
Yeah.
All the
Another
multiplayer
thing,
stuff, that's just on top, icing on the
yeah.
cake.
Like another reason why I can see why they're so nervous about the whole Game Pass thing is like I feel like back then when they released a game, right, the people that are interested in that game would buy that game, right? But like
Yep.
with Game Pass, people that are not even interested in the game are going to be playing it. So there's going to be a lot more criticism involved too, right?
Yep.
Because people buying that game would obviously be more biased towards it. Be like, oh, this game's great. They paid for it, right? So
Mhm.
I could see where a lot of the concern could come in. It's like, oh, these guys weren't interested.
The
in the game, now
real
they're playing it,
concern comes from launching into such a bad service, right, Ham?
No.
And then
I like how
obviously
he's not gonna say anything.
Servers are probably the biggest issue, especially with like the whole multiplayer thing. That's
Yep.
definitely probably gonna be the biggest thing they're worried about.
It'll be rough, but they'll figure it out.
Yeah,
They'll figure it out. Especially now, I mean, they'll have Microsoft helping. I'm sure Microsoft's gonna try and warn them and get everything shored up beforehand. But we'll see. But
I mean, if they're playing on Azure servers, I mean, they better be Microsoft
they
better be
better be
giving
good,
them
yeah.
the good servers,
Like
you
first
know.
class,
yeah,
So
first party studio now, the better. Yeah, even
Yeah.
Killer Instinct Killer Instinct still has like the best netcode out of like any fighting game I've ever played. Still, like
That's
that shit is tight.
that's good.
nice.
Like I literally feels like I'm right next to the guy playing when I play online in Killer Instinct. Like they really
Kwanzaa's
put money into that. What's
going
so
to strangers' houses to play the game.
well, the whole
Testing out their
time,
Wi-Fi.
yeah. the whole time. I'm just in literally some guy's house,
Oh my god!
and I just thought I was playing online.
I'm here to test your Wi-Fi.
I'm here to test your Wi-Fi. Oh my god!
But any more additions? Anything to
the
say
news?
more about Redfall?
Redfall.
Just Redfall in particular.
Excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what like it's previews, right? So like hands-on, they got their hands on it. They're gonna give feedback on it. Is that what that is?
Yes, and it seems
Ooh.
like a bunch of like games journalists and like content creator YouTube people are gonna have first impressions. Who knows what kind? Is gonna be like a hands-on.
It's freaking trash.
Is it going to be oh my god, third hand? Yep, first hand impression, or is it like going to be like they showed them gameplay? Like who knows? But I'm hoping it's they have gameplay. If they can't show it to us, that's fine. I really hope they can show us gameplay because I want more. But
yeah, I would like more gameplay.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what and who is all covering it.
How would you feel if everyone just called it trash tomorrow? Like, how would that make you feel?
I'd feel like everyone can suck it.
I'd be devastated. I'd be really.
Everyone says this game's not functioning properly. It's like the gunplay is trash. This is trash. Everything's just garbage.
Twans is shitting on our fun right now.
They should just give it to PlayStation fans for the
yeah, they'll fix the FPS mechanics. If anyone knows how to make an FPS game, it's PlayStation.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my god,
that'd be a dumpster fire. But
give it to Naughty Dog.
Yeah. Oh my god.
They just make
facts.
They just managed to turn it into Last of Us Part 3.
Just Last of Us but with vampires.
I mean, hey, just instead of zombies, it's vampires.
Yeah.
It's possible.
What the fuck?
What was that? Who did that?
Sorry, a program just popped up on my phone, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Got jump scared.
But we can move on to next topic from this week. And actually, Mike brought this topic up last night when we were kind of talking about the show. Yeah, the controller, which I actually read into. There's actually two controllers.
Really? What?
There's one with the OLED screen. We're talking about specifically
the Asus one. You're talking about
the new controllers. The new controllers from, is it Asus or Asus? I thought it was Asus.
It might be Asus.
Whichever.
I really don't know.
Who cares?
Exactly.
ASUS. But they have two controllers. One of them features a programmable OLED display on the front that allows players to monitor the controller's charge, mic status, Bluetooth pairing. It's also yes, mic status, and it's also it just says sad.
Yes, sad. Depressed. Sad.
Tired.
Asleep. Sleep.
Oh my god. And it's also able to be
fucking
programmed
smells.
to run text. Oh my god.
True. Smells.
Also able to be programmed to run text or animated wallpapers, which I thought was pretty, interesting. Not really useful, but interesting.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Useful.
And there's two tiers of controller.
Reviews.
Yeah. Like I don't know why I would be running just animated wallpapers on my 1-inch OLED screen on my controller, but I don't know. To each their own.
It's so weird. I'm like, I don't need that. I'd rather like save my OLED screen for like
I'd rather see the useful things that it has to offer than just
playing Forza and have a real car from GT7 on there.
Oh my god!
Someone just hacks it and streaming xCloud on it.
Oh my god! Yeah, what if it's possible? Oh my god!
Someone's gonna figure it out. Someone will figure it out.
That'd be fun.
But there's two tiers of controllers, and that's the higher tier, the one with the OLED, and it has 4 programmable back buttons. And then there's a second controller that doesn't feature an OLED, and it has 2 programmable back buttons. Now, so far, we don't know anything about the pricing on this controller. So this could be like
$300 probably.
Yeah, it could be $300, something crazy like that. Who knows? But I would assume, there's an OLED screen in it, granted a very small one. The features it does say it has, like the trigger stops, the the 4 programmable back buttons. It comes with but you're able to program it using the Asus app on your PC. It has adjustable dead zones for triggers and your thumbsticks. So it's a pretty feature-full controller. So I'm thinking probably 250. 250 at least, especially considering it's Asus and it's the Republic of Gamers controller.
Yeah.
And ROG Asus is just stupid expensive because they're Asus and people will buy it. Yep. So I wouldn't expect this thing to be cheap at all. But yeah, it does sound cool. I don't think I'm going to be headed out to get one. I've got an Elite controller. I've got a Thrustmaster. I need to get one
for SCUF control.
I'm probably going to buy one for PlayStation. I'm probably going to get that BFG Pro controller. I don't need more, so I'm good. Especially Xbox controllers.
So this is Asus control. Is it for both consoles? Or?
Nope, just for Xbox.
Just for Xbox.
Although maybe, who knows? Maybe they make one for PlayStation down the line. But so far, all we know is 2 Xbox controllers at some time this year. Don't even know when, really. So I don't know. I'm interested, but not interested enough to
just pay that much.
To pay as much as I think it's gonna be.
Yeah. Also, I really think Microsoft's Elite 3's gotta be fucking somewhere. It's gotta be somewhere. Like
that's another thing. Like, because Microsoft's Elite 3, it's gonna come out. It's gonna be much more reasonably priced, I would assume, than whatever this is going to be. Because Microsoft typically releases their controllers around 160.
70? Yeah,
160, 170. So I would imagine the Elite 3 probably max 200 at the max.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. Who knows? But it's interesting nonetheless. It's interesting nonetheless. Now, does anybody here, are you excited to go out and grab this controller, Han Solo?
Hell no. Probably not.
Are you kidding me?
I'm thinking about getting the Elite controller. It's pretty much already done. Like, I'm gonna be getting that controller, but
you getting the core? Or you getting the fuck? What's it called?
I'm getting the full package.
Regular.
I'm
the full package. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm gonna get the full package one. I know I could just get the other one, but I kind of want that case as much as I leave town and stuff like that. So
the case is definitely a nice case. It's a good thing to have. But yeah, I would recommend, because so far, I'll tell you what, I was worried about this thing because I got the Elite 2 core.
Was it the budget edition?
Yeah, and I had the Pro before, which basically died on me. Took a shit completely. Mm-hmm. So I had all the pieces for it. I didn't need to buy them. So I was like, I'll get this, and if this takes a shit on me, then fuck it. I'm out. Yeah. I'm done. So far, I've used it every day. My main controller, it's the only controller I use on Xbox. It has not done. It's not giving me any of the problems that my other Elite gave me in the same time span. Not a single problem. No stick drift, no bumper, no stupid fucking bumpers. Excuse my language, I guess. But yeah, it's like no stupid bumpers. Yeah, stupid piece of shit bumpers.
I mean, Vinny had an issue with his bumpers, and he had freaking do a weird shit to clean it to finally get it.
Yeah, you have to he said you put oil on it, and then you press it rapidly, and then it clears. I'm just like, dude,
I'm not lube it.
That sounds way too much work.
Oh yeah, you gotta lube your controller.
It really is just alcohol. You're just using alcohol, cleaning it around, and then
specifically
pushing it in there. I mean, it's the same trick that many people have used for controllers and stuff in the past. Just a little bit of alcohol, let it dry.
Yeah.
Good to go.
At least it doesn't have the same issues as the original. I mean, they still have a build quality issue, but it's not as bad as what it used to be with the Elite 1, from what I've heard.
It's crazy because my experience with this is this thing is great. I love it. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. And then I watched a review from a reviewer that I fully trust. Probably my favorite reviewer for controllers, and he said he got 2 of them. Both of them defected.
Really?
On arrival.
Both duds?
Both of them just 2 duds. You couldn't even move the thumbstick, and he had the thumbstick next to the mic, and you could hear it crunching around when he moved it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I'm just I don't know if he's just horribly unlucky. I don't know if this guy's horribly unlucky or if it's just like that's what it is, and I got lucky. I don't know. All I know is mine works fantastic, and I've had no issues whatsoever.
What I was mainly referring to is the Elite One series or whatever it was.
The Elite One series was a whole mess. I have mine somewhere, and it doesn't even have the grips on it anymore because the fucking geniuses at Microsoft put some material in it that responds negatively to the oils in your hands, so the grips just fucking fall off after like 5 months.
I love that.
So I have a controller that looks like this somewhere without grips on it, just
exposed.
Just a slippery, sad controller.
Good old
that
quality.
Is so funny.
And I'll tell you what, that's when you can make fun of Xbox quality. Is when it comes to that Elite Series 1 controller. Just it's bad news, very bad news. But
personally, I'm not sweaty enough to grab controllers like that. I'm fine with this thing. This is great.
What do you have? You got the regular one?
Yeah, this is just a regular Xbox.
Oh yeah,
you play by yourself for the most part. You don't play a whole lot of online games.
You're not
really.
I can't imagine
I'm not really that sweaty
in a COD lobby.
No, not really. Those days are behind me.
Those days are behind me.
You make it sound like you're old.
Twan's 47.
Plus, I don't feel so confident spending $170 on a controller that I personally think is a downgrade from like the Sega Saturn controller.
Oh my fuck!
I feel like God, that's like Twan, you're
off, Twan.
You go, Twan.
Terrible.
Downgrade. Fucking look at that thing. Look at that stupid thing. I
was like, all I want to do is plug in my Sega Saturn controller into my Xbox.
Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be fucking amazing, man.
I'm sure it would be.
That'd be next gen. Tell PlayStation you don't need those haptics. All you need is a Sega Saturn controller.
I love it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's really all the news for this week. I mean, unless I'm blanking on something, I really put most of my effort into that Redfall stuff. But am I blanking on something? Am I missing something this week?
There was a lot of the whole legal, right? But
I mean, there's the whole FTC thing, which is just kind of like,
that's just every week.
I mean, to be honest, there was a call. There wasn't much said. That's it.
Yeah.
People are acting like. I want to say something real quick. People are like going on Twitter after that call, being like, "The deal is dead. The deal is through. The deal is dead. The deal is through." I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you people?" I'm like, you guys gotta relax.
You know what's vital information is that Sony doesn't know how to make a console. Your PS5 is gonna die. Turn it on its side right now.
Oh yeah,
turn it on its side.
Mine's still
because
check that out.
Jim Ryan's ruined your PlayStation.
Wait, so can someone explain to me what that exactly is? I really don't know what's happening.
Twan's defying.
Twan's
physics right now.
It's been like
Twan and our friend Bill. Twan and our friend Bill, Bill's like, I'm not going to be bullied into turning my PS5 on its side.
I physically have no space. I physically have no space to turn on its side. Like I don't know where to put it.
Get rid of one of your fucking 800-year-old consoles.
Put it on the floor where it belongs.
Oh my god, so disrespectful. As for any other news, I mean, I had a couple little things that we can just kind of hit and run past.
No, but why? Sorry, never mind. Sorry.
The Xbox Store is currently offering the buy one get one free for EA games right now. Which they have their own little like dashboard kind of thing for where you select one game, then you select the other one for free. It's select games, so definitely check it out.
Did Ubisoft do that recently? I think Ubisoft
they did. They did it with Ubisoft, which answers our question: is this going to be a thing going forward? Because
I guess it is.
Seems like it is. Seems like we're going to be getting this.
And then lastly, Gears of War is returning, but in a card version.
Let's go! I can't wait to play this.
So a Gears of War card game?
Yeah, there's going to be a Gears of War card game that I can't wait to not play.
Yeah,
is it like a mobile game or is it like an actual card?
No, it's a card game from what like cards.
Like
from what I understand, it's actual cards,
like Midnight Suns cards.
Except it's not a game. I don't think it's like you're buying cards and you're playing Gears of War.
Yeah.
No way! I
Can't.
thought this was going to be a video game.
I thought this was from what I saw on this. I could be wrong. I thought this was you buy cards and
Like
you're
Pokemon.
playing Gears of War. Yeah, like it's Pokemon or some shit. I'm gonna double check this while we're talking, but
I mean, it'd be good for like a collector, maybe. If you want to collect.
I'm gonna
maybe.
buy the collector's edition of this. I'll tell you that. Here's the
Yeah,
War card game.
you're right. Absolutely
It's
right.
like a
It's
Gears of War,
just
like,
going to be
booster
a regular card game from what it looks like.
That's what I don't know.
You said it's not a video game, but instead it's a physical card game made by tabletop specialists, Steamforge Games. This project was originally announced in 2020 and is being overseen by the Coalition and Xbox team. So this is something that I got from PureXbox.com, and that's there. I mean, like I said, I seen card game, and I didn't care if it was a video game. I don't care if it's tabletop. I don't care how it's displayed. I'm not into card games. My wife
not
didn't even get me to play
collectible,
poker. Like,
It'd
I
be
don't
a
know.
nice
not getting
collectible, though. Like what I'm saying.
The
Be a
most
nice
exciting thing about cards is shuffling them, is learning how to shuffle them. It's like the most exciting thing about cards. Once you've done that, then I don't care. I don't care. I check out.
Matt just sits in a dark room, like
I'll tell you what. I used to shuffle my Yu-Gi-Oh cards like a fucking maniac. I used to bend those things to crap.
So just to give you more context on what this is, it says Gears of War, the card game, offers an immersive way to enjoy Gears of War in a brand new format. In this story-driven campaign-style game, the decisions you make in each narrative scenario have a serious consequence on the battlefield and those that follow. Strike at the right moment, making your cards work together, fight together, and stand together, and if necessary, die together. Choose how to develop your force as you play through unique narrative scenarios, each with their own objective and terrain layout. Each win or loss will affect the contents of your deck in the next scenario, allowing success or failure to impact your experience of the game. You will slide with the coalition of ordered governments and send Marcus Phoenix and Dominic Santiago into
back.
action. Yep, he's back for this game. Or you will command the Locust Horde and unleash the awesome power of the monstrous Brumac. Throw frag grenades at hordes of wretches, or bait a corpser into attacking you before striking it. When it's most valuable, the choice will be in your hands. So that's the comment that they left.
That
Wait, so this says there's going to be a campaign?
means
with
if you make a
cards? How is
bad
it
mistake,
impossible?
you get a paper cut from one of the cards. Right, but yeah, go on.
The
Sorry,
VR
Matt, you about
game?
to say something.
Man, they made that sound like really like I don't know, man. It feels like they're just kind of overselling it.
Yeah, they really
like
sold it. They really oversold that because it's
like there's a
what it's
campaign
really
mode
going to be
or
is
something,
it's
or what?
going to be
What's going on?
like if I got that, it'd be me and a bunch of other sweaty dudes in a basement playing Gears of War cards, and that's all it would be. And that's not fun. That's not a good time. But
Yeah, they
to
make
anyone
that
who-
story sound really dope, but you're pretty much making the story on your own, kind of.
yeah, and God
So
bless
that
anyone who
physical
wants to
card-
do
See,
that.
that's their marketing, and this is Matt's way of marketing it.
Yeah, it's not a good time for me. But
Matt is like the demographic, so he's just spitting like what it's gonna be like.
that's 1,000%
That's
what it's going to be.
hilarious.
It's going to be sweaty dudes in a basement playing cards, and it's going to stink. It's going to
Literally and figuratively.
Wow.
it's I'm just saying it's going to stink. It's going to be a lot of Cheetos dust. It's going to be a lot of Mountain Dew. It's going to be a lot of late nights.
Matt
You're
is
gonna-
projected.
I'm just telling you, that's how I would play this if I was going to play this. It's Cheetos, Mountain Dew, and that's the night. But
that is so
for me, that's a no-go for me. But I hope people who want to enjoy it. I'm sure someone's been asking for a Gears of War card game for a while, so you're getting it. So
that one
I mean, there you go.
Like, yes.
But to answer your question, Mike, you were asking about the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, what the fuck causes that thing to set on fire or self-destruct or?
It's something that I'm not
The
an
liquid
engineer.
metal supposedly
yeah,
like
liquid
drips
metal,
Yeah,
down.
it's something to do with the casing of the liquid metal.
Let's go.
And I guess regardless of whether or not your console's vertical, if the casing in that PS5 breaks and the liquid metal seeps, it's going to seep whether it's vertical or horizontal. So
it doesn't
it's
really matter.
not so much a design flaw that like keeps you from having it upright. Whether you have it upright or horizontal, if it happens, it's going to break. So it's not a design flaw that keeps you from keeping it upright. It's a design flaw. It's just an oversight, I guess. I mean, that's how I've seen it explained. I could be totally wrong about that.
The moment I saw that liquid metal, I saw him show it off. He saw liquid metal's all like weird and all that shit. I was like, I told my brother, I was like, mark my words, this is gonna cause problems with the PS5. That's what I told him. I'm like,
see, when I initially saw liquid metal, I was like, that looks really cool, but I was also like, that's liquid. I was like, that's liquid. That can can seep out. Yeah. That can actually cause problems.
But I knew that shit was gonna cause problems.
I figured, they know more than I do, so they probably got it under control.
Yeah.
And so far, I mean, I haven't had any issues. Fingers crossed. It's only been a limited number of people, so could just be defects.
Maybe duds. Who knows? I mean, I had mine since day one, and it's fine. So
who knows? But I guess it sucks for the people who have run into this problem. But I mean, that's really all I've got on that.
But like, do they show what the problem is? Like, does it just not turn on? Like, what happens?
I would imagine that it just kind of seeps in. Probably, I don't know if it would kill the console or if it would just
refuse to turn on, like just no power, or
like, I would think that if the liquid metal seeps out, then that's the cooling gone from your CPU. So
it probably turn on. The fans would probably go blasting, and it'd probably just shut off.
The fans would probably just turn off from overheating every time.
Yeah,
I think a good way to fix this problem is buy yourself an Xbox mini fridge and just stick your PlayStation in it. If it could even fit in there. What am I talking about? It could even fucking fit in there.
Yeah, it can't fit in there. The PlayStation 5 is bigger than the Xbox mini fridge. How hilarious is that? That's insane. But that's crazy. I never thought of that.
Wait, have you actually tried that?
Oh yeah. I tried
maybe take off the fins. Maybe that might make it fit. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, who knows?
Try doing that.
Oh no, I really like the protection that those white fins give me.
The thing is, though, that'd probably even give it more cooling because now you get rid of those fins. It's just more, it's exposed, So it would just.
Well, and you don't get it. Those fins make it faster.
Yeah, especially the flames. If you draw on the side, it makes it way faster.
That's why they designed it that way.
Yeah, it doesn't actually have an SSD. It's just flames.
Yeah, the SSD is the fins.
Learn something new every day.
Yep, but that's all the news that we got for this week. I'm not sure if anybody has any takes this week. I know I personally don't, because I haven't been really.
I haven't even been looking for takes. Oh my god!
I think I have one thing I want to bring up. Actually, I don't. It's kind of a take, but it's kind of like a slash news thing. The guy, I think he's like one of the directors that's making that Last of Us show.
Oh god.
He said something about like, he's like, before the Last of Us games were just about, putting in quarters and shit. I'm like, bro, have you been playing games for the past 20 years? It's like we went from Super Mario Brothers to Last of Us and nothing was in between, Like, it's absolutely insane.
I quote tweeted that. I said, pre-Last of Us, the only video games we had were sticks and rocks. We didn't even really have TVs. Last of Us changed that. Like it's an insane.
I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what that guy was thinking. Like, this PS1, PS2, none of that shit happened. It was just
he just hasn't played games since like the 80s, is what it sounds like.
Yeah. This guy's
don't
probably
know.
thinks just play arcade still. You know, you could probably just walk in, just play Pac-Man at a 7-Eleven or something. I don't know.
That's his idea of gaming, and it all changed because of Last of Us. I love that, but that was definitely a
Yeah,
pretty
But
wild
there-
Can't
take.
wait for the.
there's a
remake
lot
the
of things
show.
I feel like that have been said with the Last of Us show. I feel like I'm even missing a few. But there's been a lot of things I've seen regarding that show that a lot of people had a little like. I think the actors they can even play the game or something like that. I don't know.
I
There's
saw
something-
that. I wonder, like, is it the actors in general, or is it just Bella Ramsey, the who's playing Ellie? I think they just like she's not allowed to play it. I guess is what I thought.
Yeah.
What I took from what she
That
said.
gives me so much confidence.
I just thought it meant like, oh, I'm a kid. They didn't want me playing it,
Mhm.
so I didn't know if they meant the whole cast. If they meant the
Mhm.
whole cast, and what the fuck.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm excited. I'll check out the show. It looks to be like it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be shit, but it looks like it's going to be really good.
We'll see.
I'm
we'll
excited
see.
for it.
But it's coming out soon though, right? It should be.
Yeah, it's
around the
this
corner.
month, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it this
To
month
me,
or is it
depending
next
on
month?
how
I
they
don't know.
drop the episodes, will be interesting.
It's going to be
Oh, like a
weekly.
whole
I
season?
can already feel it.
Once a
hope
day.
not.
You're probably
I-
right. Since it's HBO, they'll probably treat it just like they did like Westworld and all those other shows. Like all those
Mhm.
shows were weekly drops.
Yep.
But like that kind of stuff right there makes me not want to get the subscription service until it drops. But I also
Till the
said the
very
exact same. I also said the exact same thing about like Halo, and I ended up getting that like right when it dropped. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It really kind of depends on. I'm more or less like for Halo. I was ready to see that show like once it dropped. Like
Yeah.
as soon like the minute went by and it said, "Oh, it's out." I was there to watch it. I don't feel the same way about Last of Us. And Last of Us is a great story, but I don't feel the same way just for the fact that I don't know. It seems like it's going to be kind of a downer because the game is a downer, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And-
it's that's
And it kind of pushes my excitement to like hurry up and throw my money at it to the side. And I know that's different to a lot of people. I'm just not into those kind of TV shows.
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
hoping
same.
that The Last of Us might, change that just for the sake that this is a game that I've played and beat.
Fair enough.
gotcha.
I wonder how closely it's gonna follow the game as well. I'm not sure if they're gonna take their
Well,
own path with it.
I think
Or-
they
yeah.
said it follows the game pretty closely, but there's also a lot that it puts in that just wasn't in the game. Like
Mhm.
they have to they had to
They
account
got
for
time
tons
to
of
do that
time.
now.
Yeah, like they had to account for tons of time that you didn't
Mhm.
see characters in the first. Like
Yeah,
Bill,
there's
what
like
is
tons.
what
Oh,
does
sorry,
Bill
go on.
do in the first game? Like what does he do? You only see him for like an hour in that game. So what does he do the rest of the time?
I
They
know
had to
now
come
it's
up
Nick
with all that
Offerman,
stuff.
isn't it?
Yep, Nick Offerman playing Bill.
There's also tons of like jumps in that game. It's like 4 months later. I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ. I'm like,
Yeah.
I would imagine there's going to be like lots of time in between the things we saw on the or in the game, but the things we saw in the game seem to be there. I mean, that first trailer they showed, it was like the first or second trailer. There was all the iconic moments from the first game, like when Joel found Ellie after they kind of got separated, when like shit, dude, there was so much in that first trailer. I kind of just overwhelmed myself for a second. But yeah, there's a ton of moments from the game and the trailers that we've seen. So I'd imagine it's all there.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right.
Well, that's pretty much the gist of today's show. If we want, actually, yeah, let's go on ahead and go into like most underrated and most overrated games. And I'm gonna pick Matt to go first on this one.
I feel like I can speak on this. I've said this game before. I feel like I could speak on it better because I beat it recently. Horizon Forbidden West is one of the worst games
You're bringing this game.
I'm telling you, Twan, it is terrible. It's
Terrible.
horrible.
It went from overrated to straight up terrible now.
It's horrible. Yeah, this is overrated, by the way, if you guys haven't picked up on that.
Oh, you all do.
yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
I thought you were saying underrated. What?
This game
This sounded like Gotti for a minute. I was confused.
This game is truly one of the worst experiences I've had in modern gaming.
Holy shit!
Wow.
And that's not to say
that
there's
down one world. I'll fix it.
I'm never gonna play that game.
Twan, no one's gonna play that
game. And that's not to say there's not parts of the game I didn't enjoy, because there were. It's just as soon as I ran into a part that I enjoyed, I was very soon reminded why I don't like this game. And the last boss fight of that game might be the worst boss fight I've ever seen in a game.
Wow.
And not because it's difficult. I mean, it is, but it's not difficult in a fun way. It's difficult in that you can't get close enough to melee. So that's one half of your combat is completely gone. You can't do that. So basically you've got bows and spears, and the bows and spears, even the spears, which do a lot of damage to everything else, do almost no damage to this thing. So you're basically just throwing spears at it, shooting arrows at it, and it's going to be like a 40-minute fight. It's going to be about a 40-minute fight. Unless you somehow manage to melee that thing, which I don't. Good luck.
Or if you go into it overpowered, I'm sure you could beat the heck out of it. Matt probably went in underpowered like I did.
I went in super underpowered, and I'll tell you my thought process on that is I wanted that game done. So they warned me before that mission. They were like, you need to be like a level whatever. I don't even know. It was like 35. I went into that level 30, and I was like, I'm gonna finish this. Eventually, I did, but my
you don't understand. Has better quests than The Witcher 3 and Skyrim.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I didn't run into a single quest on that game that was better than anything I played in Skyrim or The Witcher. Like anything, even the average quests in Skyrim or Witcher. I didn't run into a single thing in there. That was, in fact, I think that story is, I almost said much worse. That story is worse than the first game story.
God damn.
Now, what made you what unlocked this like inspiration to hate the game even more than you already did?
Because he played it for the stream.
Because I played it on stream, and I was like, you know what? I want this game off my PlayStation. I don't ever want to look at it again. I decided I was going to beat it.
Finally, actually, I thought you already beat the game before. Now you actually beat it.
Nope. Had no desire to beat it before. I wanted it off my PlayStation now. I beat it, and it's managed to make me think even less of the game. So that's my overrated game for this week. It's Horizon Forbidden West.
Amazing.
My goodness, that was a rant. All right.
So God, I forgot what I was gonna even say now. What the fuck was I gonna say?
Oh
Jesus Christ.
He definitely he lost a subscriber.
Your turn, Twan.
That's fine.
Okay, let's see what I got here.
The subscriber's Twan. Twan's the subscriber we lost.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here.
Cozy agrees.
Man, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna like say it's like the worst game of all time, like you've been saying. Like,
what game? What are you talking about? What?
No, he's talking. No, I was talking about Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh,
but man, Hot Wheels Unleashed, man, that game was underrated. That game was actually really
I want to play that game. Isn't it on Game Pass, or is it not on Game Pass?
I feel like it wasn't on Game Pass.
It is?
But then they're like delaying it. I'm not sure if it is on.
I
now.
thought it was on Game Pass. I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah, I remember it got delayed. Did it ever come out?
Yeah, it got delayed. I'm not sure if it's still being delayed. But like that game, I played it when it first came out. Like I was like, I'm buying this game day one.
Dylan told me to play that game,
and that shit was awesome. Like I feel like it had a little fanfare when it came out, but like I played it and I was like, this is one of the best Hot Wheels games that have ever come out. If you minus like Forza Horizon or something like that.
Yeah, as long as you don't count a real.
Yeah, minus that, but like really, it was like I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I have that on PlayStation because I think it was in PS Plus.
I
still haven't tried it.
I need to. Plus game at one point.
I need to try it.
I bought the game when it came out, but yeah, it was really good. And I feel like even after PlayStation Plus, still barely anyone really talked about it. But I don't know. It's a really good game. play it if you haven't. It's good.
I gotta try it.
All right, Mike.
Mike.
I honestly been trying to remember like the game I was gonna say, and I'm looking through my Steam library right now, saying, "What the fuck am I gonna talk about?" I'm like at a
That's your
complete loss.
problem. You're looking on Steam and there's no games on PC, Mike.
There are no
What?
games, but I could talk about one game I did play a lot, because I really liked. It's a mod though. Nah, fuck it. I'll talk about a real game then. Red Orchestra 2. That is a very fun game. It's a World War II game set on the Eastern Front. Obviously, Russians versus Germans. It's just a very fun. It's kind of semi simulator. It's not crazy simulator though. It's kind of like you get shot, you can kind of easily bandage yourself. It's not nothing like Arma, but that game was gory and violent and tough as fuck, and that was a blast to play. And I kind of want to revisit it because it was a lot of fun. I don't know if I could say it's I think it's underrated just in the fact in like the military sim world. I don't hear about it too much. And that's kind of due to the developers kind of letting the franchise. I feel like it's a little bit more obscure than it used to be. Their last one was a Vietnam expansion, if I'm not mistaken, which I really want to check out because there aren't enough games in Vietnam, and kind of understandably so from how controversial that war was. But Red Orchestra 2 is a really cool game and has good music as well. Red Orchestra obviously being because Russian Soviet Red. So that's my underrated. What's anyone else's? Who else is going on?
All right. So
I think
me
you're the last one.
last I'll go, and I'm gonna pick this week is underrated, and it's a game that I haven't I've heard of this game before, more or less because of like Cozy in the chat actually pointed this game out a long time ago, and I forgot about it until I was just scrolling through my Xbox, like games with gold library of stuff that I had in the past, because I do streams every like Tuesday and Wednesday nights, and I mostly play old games during those. And the old game that I decided to pull out last, I think it was Wednesday, was a game called Hydrophobia for the Xbox 360, and that game I was really expecting to like turn on that game, play it for 5 minutes, and shut it off. Like that's what I was expecting to do on that game. But instead, what happened was I turned it on and played it for like 2.5, 3 hours because it just grabbed a hold of me and didn't let go. And the water effects in that game for it to be a 360 game. Yeah, even Mike showed up during my stream and he is like, what is this game?
Yeah, it's like it has better water effects than almost some newer games, man. I'm not even like fucking making that up. The water effects are nuts for a 360 game.
I'm like shooting barrels with my gun and it's blowing up sides of walls and water's just rushing in, and it's like I'm like, keep in mind I'm like trying to like escape like a massive like boat or something like that, or like it's like a submarine yacht kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a massive cruise ship. It's like a giant, like think of like a city on the water, pretty much.
Exactly.
That
Thank you.
got hit with a terrorist attack. It's called what, the Queen or something like that. Like the Queen, some weird name for the ship. I can't remember what it's called anymore. It's the Queen's Sorrow or something. I can't remember. Sorry, you go on.
all in all, it was a pretty fun game. Had pretty decent combat with shooting and everything. Especially, like I said, this is a 360 game. The effects in it were pretty cool. You can shoot underwater with that gun. You end up getting different types of guns to use. So you got like the sonic gun. You end up using a few other kinds. I'm still like, I'm only a few hours into the game. From what Cozy said, it's a fairly short game, so I'll be beating it probably not too long. But I really enjoyed that game, and I'm pretty excited to get back into it and see what it's all about. It very much feels like a 360 version of like an Uncharted, except much more technological.
Much more technological than Uncharted.
Like like technological in the terms of like the stuff that they're using in the game, like the tech that they have in the game to use. Like you're using like more computers and stuff than Nathan Drake is like going around
it's
like
more like
old
old-fashioned.
shit, like
Yeah,
runes and stuff like that.
I
Like
hear what you
ruins
mean
and
now.
stuff. So
That was just more the environments.
yeah,
you're
the
talking about.
environment's more technological than Nathan Drake. Everything's really
Okay.
primitive with his.
Yeah.
But yeah, great game. I highly recommend checking it out. It's only like $8 on the Xbox store right now. So if you are looking to get into that, I highly recommend checking that out, especially at the price that it's at right now. But that's pretty much it for us this week. Unless anybody here had anything to say.
No, I'm good.
It was a nice show,
But,
though. So I just want to say real quick.
It was a tight show.
Tighter, you shut the hell up, Matt.
I'm actually gonna kill you, Mike.
Wow.
Deserved. Even Ham's like, Jesus Christ. Ham's like, fuck.
All right. Well, with that being said, let's go on ahead and go through the outros real quick. So, first person I'm gonna have go is I'm gonna have Mike go so he can let everybody know where to find him. And if you don't find him there, you should look for Matt because he's probably killed him.
I'm probably dead. If I'm
this.
alive, you'll find me at Hard Days Mike on Twitter, and I do sometimes stream on Twitch. I'm also planning on starting to stream on this channel certain games and try to do full walkthroughs on it. We will see. So both on Twitch and Twitter, Hard Days Mike.
Nice.
Awesome.
Matt, nice.
Okay, I'm gonna get going now. All right, so
yeah, now Matt knows where to find you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be here every Sunday on this show when we do this show.
Every day.
Yep. And I'm on Twitter at It's Me Twan. I got my own YouTube channel, Twan Show.
Tell him.
I'm making my own YouTube videos soon. So hopefully I can get my first video out around February, maybe March. I am aiming for around that time frame. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing shit. I'm gonna just talk about the PS3, and yeah, we'll see where that goes from there. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I got the equipment. I already spent like $1,000, so I'm already all in at this point. So
that's gonna be successful. I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
Because it's a niche that a lot of people want, but not a lot of people do.
Oh yeah.
So
it's good you have all that equipment because that's just it does. You have no idea how much. I'm not saying it's easy. Don't worry. I'm not saying that. You have no idea though how much easier you made your life having the proper equipment.
Oh yeah, I got all the shit in there. I know. I overspent on a few things, but I think it's gonna be good now. I'm looking forward.
As long as you got it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Or 10K subscribers by the end of the year.
Just keep your drive going because I mean,
that's the most important part.
That's the hardest part. Is
just getting motivation. Yeah, be like, oh yeah, I get it. The moment you start kind of losing motivation. Oh man, that's the toughest part.
I've gone through it. I've gone through an entire year of it. Yeah. So it happens.
Don't worry, man. I got
my channel has 20,000 subs now, so I don't give up.
Yeah, good for
don't
you,
give
man.
up. Don't give up.
That's it.
Follow your dreams.
What's happening, man?
Follow your dreams.
Power your dreams.
Power your dreams. Yeah. Let's go.
Anyways, thanks everybody for coming through. Those of you that are still watching and those of you that are going to be coming through after the show has already been done, we appreciate you guys. Make sure to catch us next week. Same place, same time. Peace out, you guys. Take it easy.
Take it easy.